All right, so bit of a different video today, pretty relaxed, nothing too serious. So I was looking for an article for a video I was working on because there was a quote that I forgot to save when I stumbled across a write-up that shares a name with the title of this video. It was a review of the game, and it answers the question of whether or not For Honor is or will be a good game to play in 2020. So after reading the article, I asked myself if I could recommend this game to someone who hasn't played it before, and all they know about the game is what they've heard from the various bits of news that the game has picked up throughout the years. So that's basically what I want to talk about in this video. It gives me a reason to talk about things that don't deserve their own video. As always, if you watch these videos somewhat regularly, I'd really appreciate it if you sub to the channel, as it really helps me out. Now let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Alright, so the article is a pretty solid write-up, a nice overview of the game, and the author states that he's been playing the game for over 1,000 hours and is close to rep 200. He opens with, "There is something so visceral and satisfying about the game, yet every month or so I feel terribly burnt out after so many levels ground and enemies dismembered. I want to say this game is fun and that more people should buy it, but at the same time, I cannot in good conscience completely recommend this game." If you've been playing since launch, odds are you feel the same way about really enjoying the game for a while, but feeling burnt out after a few weeks if you played regularly. When I talked about burnout a while back, a few of you guys mentioned how For Honor is polarizing and how it's like an abusive relationship and so on, and how we all keep coming back despite its flaws because there's nothing else like it, and because we've all spent so much time with it. A lot of people are here for the long haul now, and by now, you know if you want to stick around or not, or if you're just waiting to see what's going down in a few months now that the season pass has run its course. And you know, when I sit down and actually think about it, I do believe that at this current moment, For Honor is at its best. That doesn't mean I think it's perfect. Anyone that's played the game for a while now knows that it has flaws, but I think it's really at its best in a few different ways. I think it's at its most stable connection-wise. At this point, I don't see anyone talking about being dropped from games consistently. Sure, there are people who have poor internet connections and whatnot, but that's not really on the game. The game's roster is now at 26 heroes, and if I sit here and look at the roster, I can say that I do think most of these heroes have use in some way and can be useful in the right hands in 4v4. The game isn't too buggy. This year's season pass delivered some interesting heroes. There's been a steady flow of content. The devs have been communicating with us somewhat regularly. The game, for what it is at its best at this moment. I think that if you don't own this game and you stumbled across this video, you should pick this game up, as you're probably interested in some way, especially since the game is on its Black Friday sale. Can I recommend this game to everyone? Absolutely not. For Honor is not one of those games that are broadly appealing, and it isn't one of those games that you must play, you know? It's still a PvP fighting game, and I use that term loosely. It's not a super technical fighting game, again using that loosely, but it's still a fighter in a sense. That takes a bit of time to learn and isn't too friendly to newer players. I don't agree with everything he says in the article, and that's fine. Everyone has different feelings about the game and what's in it. I've been seeing people act as though you need to earn an opinion, like you need to have done X thing to have an opinion on the game, which I think is really stupid. There were two things that I didn't really agree with, one about the gameplay and one about microtransactions. While talking about the gameplay, he says that he finds that the game's combat system shines the brightest in 1v1 situations and shows its flaws during 4v4 modes. He mentions that the Art of Battle system was intended for 1v1 situations and not group fights. He says group fights are a part of For Honor that are extremely chaotic and can sometimes be over in a matter of seconds due to the amount of attacks that are being thrown out. He goes on to say that that's not to say that there isn't strategy. Swinging wildly at an opponent with your friends will fill the revenge meter, and you may find that in higher level 4v4 lobbies that people will run team compositions that will spell your death if you are outnumbered. I agree with them that there are a few times when there's just not much you can do in 4s against a gank. If you're up against people that know what they're doing, making one mistake or getting caught in the wrong spot will leave you dead. And I also somewhat agree with there being flaws with the auto battle system when in group fights, but also in general. I don't believe the game really shines in 1v1s, at least to me. I know there are people that really enjoy playing duels and avoid 4s like the plague, but I just find 4s a lot more fun, as there's just so much more going on and more to do. After playing duels and brawls almost exclusively for so much longer than I should have, I switched over to Dominion and started having a lot more fun with all the different situations, having an objective, more fights, faster fights, and so on. In duels, at least for me, some games are fun and some are really boring depending on who I'm playing and who I'm up against. I like the way things play out in 4s more. I like that you can have a 1v1 in a 4s game that doesn't run like a standard duel, as there's just a lot more in play. The author also mentions developer support and claims that Ubi has been doing a good job with the game nowadays despite their previous mistakes. And you guys know how I feel about the game's post-release development as of late, so I won't go into it for too long. It's certainly gotten better over time, and I do believe that they've been doing a good job in terms of releasing content and updates for the game now that they're going at a slightly faster pace. There are still lulls that will always be the case with this game at this point, and at times it'll feel as though nothing is really happening, but I'd be flat out lying to you guys if I sat here and said that I think that they're just destroying the game. I don't agree with every change they make, and every season when they do their big seasonal updates, they tend to add things that people have to find on their own. And if you don't know what I mean, check out Frieza's channel and check out the undocumented changes videos that he puts together. They're extremely helpful, and if you like to just keep up with what's going on in the game and learn new stuff, he's the guy to go to. I have nothing but praise for what he's done for the community. Anyways, they've been moving this game forward. The addition of the testing grounds has been one of my favorite additions to For Honor, despite us only using it once. And I'm pretty sure that they mentioned the next round of testing grounds would even include custom games, which is something we had been asking for. The Spectator mode is also working for the most part and has been the source of some of my favorite For Honor content recently. Verbalocity's Twitch streams, where he uses the Spectator mode to watch competitive scrims. They're a ton of fun to watch, and I really do think you should check them out. The article goes on to mention microtransactions and how the game encourages you to buy steel with how much stuff is in the store. I don't think For Honor ever really pushes you to buy steel. It hardly ever pushes any sort of microtransaction on you, if we're being honest. The only things that are really pushed on you are the season passes and of course Marching Fire for arcade mode. And I use the term push pretty loosely. There isn't much to get out of the season passes besides the new hero, and arcade is okay if you like PvE or really like some of the rewards locked behind the mode. It's really easy to earn steel in this game. You can play for like an hour a few days a week and come out with a fair amount of steel if you focus on the orders. Do I wish there was another way to earn steel faster? Of course, but I never feel like there's something I can't earn with a short grind. As I said a pretty long time ago, For Honor is a game that could easily have had some sort of premium currency like gold, Daubeny dollars, Peacekeeper pennies, or whatever you want to name it, and just tacked on a premium cost to a few items in the game. I do think some of the stuff in this game is a little pricey for what they are, but it could really be worse, as we've seen with a few other games that'll charge you around 10 to 20 bucks for a single skin and an accessory. There isn't anything in the game that is pay to win either. Spending money on For Honor will get you no sort of advantage. The only thing I could see someone twist into some sort of pay to win spiel is the week after a new hero releases, when only season pass holders can play a hero, but that's not pay to win in my eyes, as everyone who plays the game will have access to them literally 7 days later. He also goes on to talk about the game's presentation, and I think that we can all agree that even after a few years and that graphics update they did a while ago, the game still looks and sounds amazing on almost every front. Gameplay aside, each and every single hero in this game is unique. No two heroes look or sound the same. There's a lot of customization for the weaponry and a decent amount for the armor that look great, of course. There's tons of emotes, effects, and finishers. The way the heroes move around and attack look good for the most part. There are a few that don't look good when they fight, but the majority of them do. The maps look great, and so on. I don't think anyone can say For Honor is an ugly game at all, and that was just about everything in the article besides a few other things like the story. So that's all I've got for this video. I just wanted to talk about the game for a little bit, and now I had a reason to do so. Now that it's winter time and snow is falling around here, I'll have some more time to work on things like YouTube videos, and there are a few things I want to talk about that aren't related to For Honor, so don't be alarmed if you see something different. Nothing will be popping out of the blue within these next couple of days, but if you are interested, join our Discord. There will be a link in the description. The people in the Discord will be the people that see the videos first, as I'll be taking feedback and honest criticism. And even if you're not interested in a newer video, feel free to join the Discord anyways, as we talk about For Honor and just hang out. Anyways, I'm done now. I do want to know what you guys think, so be sure to talk to me down in the comments about anything we talked about in this video. And as always, if you like the video, feel free to leave a like and stuff if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.